shortly after I became a member of ISCAS, which was then known as IMSOP, in 1980, I submitted articles for publication, and then and got interested in how the journal worked and how I could help it to develop. Back in the early days, the journal consisted of recordings from the annual meetings and then edited and published, along with some brief articles. And I've seen it improve over the years, becoming much more like the other medical journals, and in fact any scientific journals. So I was happy to be able to contribute to it because it is, recognized as a credible journal for purposes of promotion and grant applications and funding. So it enhanced my CV, which was important during the days when I was working as a professor at an academic institution. I think the journal has grown admirably, especially under the tutelage and editorship of Philip Harris and then J.J. Windale. And now that Lisa Harvey is the editor, I think she's made some excellent improvements and developments. And so she is very knowledgeable in the area and has helped to improve the quality of the journal. And under during the end of the period of Dr. Windell and during so far during the period of Dr. Harvey, the Society has created a second journal so that we can meet obligations not only for quality but also encouraging the development of knowledge and treatment of patients with spinal cord injury in developing countries. And that is one of the purposes for the spinal cord injury series of cases. Well, 10 years these days is actually a long period of time because there are so many changes that have taken place in medicine in general. But I think that if the journal sticks to the policies and procedures that it has now at hand, it will increase in the eyes of not only just physicians and rehab professionals and scientists, but in general in the scientific field. And I think that the journal has made, a tremendous gains in the last few years, and I see it just improving and dealing with the specific area of spinal cord injury. It is now recognized, I think, as the only international journal for the purposes of disseminating the research in the field of spinal cord injury. Well, the biggest challenges for both young researchers and experienced researchers are to obtain funding to do that research, and that funding can, be provided through government or private entities. But the thing that I think is most important for young investigators is to start off with working with experienced investigators so that they become recognized. And and in their own research to adhere to the principles of doing sound research. And the first would be transparency, so that others can look at your work and verify it. The next one would be that I think transparency is the portal to honesty. And honesty is the portal to truth, and truth is the portal to trust. And if you follow that pathway, people who review your work, people who publish your work, and people who read your work will know that they can trust what you say. And you then will have the reputation of being a credible investigator. And I think that's extremely important because cutting corners and doing analysis and drawing conclusions based on inadequate information that can't be verified is only hurtful in the long run. So I think if they follow that path and stick to those 4 principles, they'll do well and get funding.